Welcome to Screen Riot. This week's movie is Tombstone, a western from 1993. This episode will contain major spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's available to rent on all major streaming services. Go check it out and come back to the podcast because this is Screen Riot.
Welcome to Screen Riot, the podcast where we review movies chosen entirely by fate. If you're having difficulties finding movies to watch, then this might be the podcast for you. I'm one of your hosts, Justin, and alongside me are co-hosts Eddie, Kyle, and John. And each week, one of us spins the wheel of fate, and the host must pick any movie from that genre. If you'd like to see all the movies that we've reviewed so far and how they've ranked, visit screenriot.net and have a look at the movie ratings page. At the end of each show, we'll spin and see what next week's movie is going to be so that you can follow along at home. Also, while you're at screenriot.net, make sure to head over to the support page to see all the different ways that you can help support the show. So, like John said in the opening, we are going to be taking a look at Tombstone, which is 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It's rated R, and it was directed by George P. Cosmatos. And I didn't realize until we started doing this episode and doing research on it that it was actually directed by two people. One of the screenwriters was also directing portions of the movie. His name is Kevin Jarre. And from everything I saw is that he directed the Charlton Heston scenes.
Oh,
which
interesting.
I totally even forgot Charlton Heston was in this movie. That little segment where he's the property owner.
Hooker.
But John, you had some more information about Jarre.
Yeah, Kevin Jarre, he like Justin said, he's one of the screenwriters. He's the screenwriter. But he was actually set to direct the film, and he directed actually about 4 weeks worth of a film.
Wow.
And he was so abrasive and so like, this is my vision type director and don't you dare mess with my vision.
Probably because he also wrote it.
Exactly. He's like, this is my movie. I wrote it. I know exactly what's going on. I'm not going to take anybody else's input, nothing. And so the studio basically had enough and said, okay, we're going to cut ties with you. It's nice knowing you. And they shopped it around to a couple of directors before they settled on George P. Cosmatos. And they told him, okay, you have a December opening, you have a December release date, you have to hit it, no excuses, in 2 days you start.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy to take on that project like that.
Well, he did, but I mean, if you really delve into the backstory of the production, Kurt Russell was the guy. Kurt Russell actually was kind of keeping the peace between everybody, and nobody liked Cosmatos apparently, and the actors didn't want to talk to him, and wow. Kurt Russell was basically the one that kept this movie together.
So he was a marshal on screen and a marshal off screen.
Yes,
it was a peacekeeper.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You think he pointed the gun at everybody? And
made a name for himself as a peace officer.
Yes.
Tombstone.
Yes. And on set.
Put that on his resume.
Yeah.
Well, George Cosmatos, if you're not familiar with him, he's directed some other movies that you've probably seen. One of them being Rambo: First Blood Part 2, which is definitely a title that I've always thought had way too many adjectives kind of stuff in it.
Yeah.
That was back in 1985. He did Leviathan in 1989. He did Cobra.
Oh, nice.
Remember Cobra?
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, back in 85, I believe. Then he did Tombstone in 93. Oh, he also did an episode of Joe Bob's Drive-In Theater.
Really?
Did you guys ever watch that when you were kids?
Never watched Joe Bob's Drive-In
No?
Theater.
No? Oh, it was awesome. It was like a takeoff of that Elvira show where she just basically they watched terrible movies.
I remember the show. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just like a kind of a Western kind of rednecky guy who basically did the same shtick where he made fun of movies that they were showing. But yeah, it was a great show. And then he had a new movie, or the latest movie that he did was called Shadow Conspiracy. Which I've never seen.
What year? Do you know?
That I don't.
Oh, okay.
I thought I wrote it down,
Shadow
but I guess
Conspiracy.
I did not.
No.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's got a couple of big names in it, from what I remember. So this was Oscars 1994. I had a question for you guys. How many Oscars do you think that Tombstone was at least nominated for?
5.
Ooh.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm gonna go 9.
In stereo.
You're all wrong.
2.
0.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. The reason why I guessed higher was A, because I honestly thought you guys were right, but B, I don't know. It seems like the kind of schleppy shit that people would like. I don't hate this movie,
I
but
like this movie.
but the
This is
overall,
one of my favorite movies.
Let me
Yeah.
be clear. But the overall polish of this movie, it just reminds me of like a 1970s TV western. Like it just doesn't have like there's really like interesting parts, and then there's really just kind of cheesy old westerny parts that I'm like, why it's like it's supposed to be a modern western, not a throwback to the 70s.
And that was one of the problems the studio had with the original director.
Yeah.
Is that he was shooting it with a lot of wide shots with a long lens and kind of like a John Ford
Right.
type western. And they're like, no, this is the western that's supposed to bring back westerns. We
Well,
don't. We had a 20-year lull of westerns. We want more westerns.
Well, I like most of the movie. One of the things I should like, but I don't, is the chasing down of the Cowboys at the end.
The revenge ride.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
The 2
I loved
revenge
it.
montages.
Yeah, I'm like,
I loved it.
Wait, why? And then they're all 4 abreast, and they're like, dur, 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 dur,
Yeah,
dur.
yeah.
I'm like, oh god.
You
I'm like,
gotta
give
have
me a
that in
fucking
every
break.
single western, man. You gotta have the heroes coming through. Actually, not coming through a town necessarily, but just riding out in the open.
Okay,
That's
fine. No, granted,
yeah.
granted.
You gotta have it.
But over and
Hell yeah.
over.
You get pumped,
and
man. You
over.
get jacked.
It
You're like,
is
yes!
a little repetitive.
It's a lot repetitive, and then on top of that,
Well, they didn't do it 3 times.
No.
I guess there's
They
that.
just did it
You know what?
twice.
You're right. 10.
Well, because
So
they
it's
had,
not repetitive.
yeah, they had a scene in between those 2 rampages, and
Yeah, the scene in between is even stranger. In my, I'll get to that later. But the reason why I can imagine it not getting
he's over there walking on water.
why I imagine it would not get the Oscar nod and all
Right.
that kind of shit is it's honest. Like again, if you look at it objectively, there's a lot of cheesy shit happening in this that's not done well.
Well, the reason I think that it wasn't was because of some of the other movies that were
What got
out that
nominated?
year.
Let's see, 93,
This 94.
94, or Forrest Gump.
Well,
Forrest
yes.
Gump and
Yep.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia,
was out.
yeah.
You
Tom
know what
Hanks
else?
was-
You
Tom
know what
Hanks
else was in 1994 Oscars?
No.
Schindler's List.
Oh yeah, hey,
yeah,
he's a
that
bubble.
that
He's
definitely
gonna
swept.
win.
That swept that year. It had
Yeah.
7 wins and 4 nominations.
It was in black and white.
Damn.
It was in black and white. Of course, it's gonna win. It did great. It was
Yeah.
in black and white.
But I mean, so I think you might be right, Eddie. They might not have liked that that kind of brand of Western that they were doing. I don't know. I think it was more akin to that was just a good year for movies, and
Yeah, there was a lot that came out that week.
critically
that year.
acclaimed movies.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, listen, I agree, but this movie, honestly, all that's missing is like a really like a high hole silver type song at the end to really just put it over the top, just all the way over the top.
You know, and it could have been people of the Academy, well, the folks who are in charge of the whole nominee process thing. They might have had close ties with Kevin Costner, because Kevin Costner does not want this movie to be made.
Oh, why not?
Because he made it.
Yeah, he did. With
He wanted
Wyatt
it. Well,
Earp.
see, he wanted the role of Wyatt Earp in Tombstone,
Oh, okay.
but he wanted to change the story to where it's more about Wyatt and not necessarily the relationship between Wyatt and Doc.
And
the
that's
way-
why in 94, Wyatt Earp came out.
exactly.
Hey,
so
and
he started
Kevin
making his
Costner
own.
started-
He started making his own, which is an hour longer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, what's interesting is this script was supposed to be way, way longer than it was. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
supposed to be an epic.
Yeah.
Where it actually focused on like the backstories of like every single person that is in this thing, like the 3 Earp brothers, and I think it covered over like 6 of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
like it was
Dang.
just way too much.
Did you guys saw Wyatt Earp, right?
I have not
I have
actually
not,
seen.
no.
Oh,
I've
really?
seen pieces of it, but
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
No.
No.
I didn't necessarily like the story more, but I did like the feel of the movie more. It feels more like Dances with Wolves. And I don't mean that like because it's got Kevin
Another
Costner. in it.
Right.
Costner.
I don't mean that. I mean like it
Totonka.
feels that yeah. I mean it feels like a lived-in world. This movie felt like a set, like a movie, like they were on the set of a movie and they were
I don't feel that way.
everyone's very clean.
Well,
very clean.
this is what this is what contributed to that.
Yes.
Is at the time they were filming Wyatt Earp,
Yep.
and they were filming another Western, and all of the Western attire from the costume houses were taken.
Oh, so they had to like go to like a cheap costume
So
store.
what they ended up doing
Yep.
was in the studio. The studio actually wanted they didn't want necessarily anyway. They didn't want all sepia type tones like a normal Western. They wanted other period colors that were indicative of the time.
Yeah, there's like a crimson and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they wanted those, right? Well, what they ended up doing, the guy who plays Texas Jack Vermillion owns and is in charge of a Western reenactment troupe,
Okay.
Wow.
like as a business type thing.
Yeah.
And so what they did, they had all their costumes. A lot of them played extras, and they used their costumes. The designers used their costumes as patterns.
Gotcha.
So they actually went out and bought fabric. So everything that wasn't authentic brought on set was actually made based on the authentic stuff.
See, and go ahead.
Well, it's just that's interesting you say that about all the authentic stuff, because I read that the other director, Kevin Jarre, the screenwriter too, is that he was really adamant about the actors wearing authentic like wool.
Oh yeah, it was
clothing
all
and
wool.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I saw that that Val Kilmer, who played Doc Holliday, was the Birdcage Theater scene, where they're watching the play. Apparently, he said that it was so hot in that theater that there was a thermometer that somebody brought in because it was so hot in there. They just thought it would be a gag. Right. That it read 123 degrees when he looked one time.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine that? Plus being in wool and everything.
Nah.
And he's like, no wonder Doc Holliday just went around and shot everybody. He was fucking hot all the time.
Oh, no wonder he was sweating all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do want to be clear, John.
Sweating
Like
bullets.
Oh God.
The outfits themselves,
Right.
I don't really have a problem with. It's that lived-in feeling. It's the same problem I don't like. Same reason I don't like the new Star Wars that came out. Is the world is not lived in, and why I did like Rogue One is because it is a world that's lived in. Like
Well,
Stormtroopers,
It's the sheriff, the town sheriff. This is Tombstone. We're moving up.
Well,
Yeah.
something you have to remember too. At the time that the gunfight at the OK Corral took place, which it wasn't at the OK Corral, but we won't have to delve too far into history.
Yeah, let's not historical. What is it? Was it Hidden Figures? Let's not Hidden
Yeah,
Figures.
yeah. We
this
won't.
one.
If we do, we're gonna get it like a zero.
I do
God.
have some historical facts I do want to cover later.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But at the time, Tombstone wasn't that old,
Yes.
so it wouldn't have had that dusty
No, I'm with
Western feel to it. You would have had that newer newer town feel.
The Cowboys themselves, right? They're riding around. They're they should be filthy, and they weren't. They still look like their clothes were fresh off the rack. That's what bugs me. When I think back to Three Amigos, right, one of my favorite westerns, they're made fun of at first because they come in like these pristine things, and all the Mexican guys and everyone down, they're like, what? Look at these stupid shit he's wearing. Like they make fun of him for it, and then as they actually start to become more, real in their stuff starts to get tattered and torn up. I just wanted that to happen in this movie because for whatever reason, I don't like whenever westerns are too clean. It bugs me. I like whenever you get the grittiness of the feeling.
So you want a new Western, but
with the grittiness
not
of the old
not
ones.
with
Yes.
the 1970s
Yeah.
feel to it, but with the 1970s look.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I like that. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I want it to look gritty.
Okay, just all right.
Yep.
I'm trying to.
Well, listen,
trying to cross all your T's and dot all your I's.
All jokes aside, the 310 to Yuma remake did a good job of that. They remade, they actually showed a world that was lived in.
Deadwood.
So Deadwood does it exactly.
Deadwood
does a good
perfect
job
example
on it.
of
Yeah,
that.
I agree with you.
You just looking at that street makes
you're
you
like,
want to
oh.
go shower.
That's another thing too. Now, I mean, we've kind of embraced. Okay, it wasn't a dusty road in between all these things. It was actually torn up by horses and wagons and mud and piss and all that kind of. There's none of that in this movie either. It's very, very. It's just very clean. I don't know. It's a very clean movie overall. It makes it feel less authentic. I still like the story. I still like a lot of the pieces, but just. I don't know. I just wanted to be a little more authentic, man.
Well, I think one of the things that really draws me to this is some of the performances that a lot of the actors give.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy who plays Curly Bill,
Yes.
Powers Booth.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's the dude that I miss because I'm a
yeah.
big Deadwood fan. I really love this movie. He's just so charismatic, and he, for me, he is a scene stealer every time he's on camera.
Yeah,
Well, he's
I
got
just
a-
love when he has that big grin, and he's just like, he's just laughing. Like,
Well, he's
yes,
Shut
all right.
up, Mike.
he's got a definite shit-eating grin, and he plays a baddie really well.
I love it.
Not to stay on the costume thing, but his boots I did not like. They
Oh,
look
you
like they
don't-
were
you
straight
don't like
off
the
the
poker
Har-
cards?
No, they look like they were off the
Oh no, that
Harley
was Johnny
Davidson
Ringo,
rack.
right?
No,
No,
that was
Curly Bill?
Powers
Curly
Booth.
Bill?
Yeah, those
Oh.
were
Yeah.
Power boots. But
Okay.
but yeah, back to him. I do like him. I think he's funny in this movie, if nothing else.
Well,
Yeah, his
and-
reaction every time when he goes to meet Wyatt Earp the first time when Earp's doing the faro dealing and he throws down the random coin and Earp just flips over a card. Oh, you win 500 to Curly, and then Ike starts to say shut up, and he's like shut up, Ike. That's the man.
just won $500.
Yeah, because that equates to something like I looked it up, but I
It's
wish
a
I would have wrote it
lot of
down.
money.
It's like $7,000
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think at that point,
back in '94 money.
I think Earp was just like, yeah, go away. All right, you win, go away,
back
spend
in
it happily.
94 money?
Yeah.
Or 1894
No,
money?
I said I looked it up to see what it was back when they made the movie.
Oh, okay.
93, sorry. So but it's like $6,700 or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
I didn't do it today. I should have.
But my favorite Curly Bill moment, and I know we all have one. My favorite Curly Bill moment is in the Birdcage Theater when Billy Zane does his St. Crispin's Day speech, and at the end of it, everybody starts clapping, and he stands up and he's got his hands in the air, he's like, "Yeah, that's our kind of stuff."
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? It's your kind of stuff. That's hilarious.
But see, I'm gonna say this. The one thing that I like Powers Booth in the movie, I do. But to me,
Powers Booth, the movie?
No, I said I like Powers Booth in the movie.
Powers
Oh,
Booth.
you said
Powers
Powers Booth,
movie.
the
The
movie.
movie. Hey,
It's a sequel to Phone Booth.
I'm
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
He plays Max Powers.
But he didn't come across to me as the leader of the gang. Like, I know he's supposed to be the leader of the gang in this movie, but he doesn't pull it off. To me,
Oh,
Johnny
really?
to me, Johnny Ringo is
Well, Johnny
the
Ringo,
star of the movie.
I don't know. Johnny Ringo is more of like just a wild dude.
I agree
Wild
with you.
card.
I agree with you.
that he's actually second in command.
Yep.
And I think Powers Booth is a good leader.
I think
in
they
this.
establish it really well in the
No,
opening
they established
scene.
it from the beginning. I agree with you. What I'm saying is that through his actions,
Even without dialogue, when they go to sit
Mm-hmm.
at the table, he sits at the head of the table.
I agree. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm in 100% agreement with you. I'm saying that once the movie starts rolling and Powers Booth seems to not be as key of a figure, Johnny Ringo is the one who seems to be having more issues with the group than Powers Booth does. That's what I'm saying. Like, for
Maybe
some
he's- I
reason,
don't
he
know.
just
maybe he's
seems to
thinking
say-
about more of the bigger picture stuff. And
Maybe I would love to
Yeah.
see that on screen in the
Right.
2.5 hours they had to be able to do
You kind
that.
of do because you have. I think it was when what's his name, Ike, was drunk
Yes,
and he was wanting to pretty much like kill all the
Oh,
brothers.
yeah.
And
kill all the brothers.
Curly Bill, he was like, "Hey, no, not this is not
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
That
This
was
is not
Ringo,
the time."
yeah.
No, that was Curly Bill.
No, that
No,
was
that-
Ringo.
No, Curly Bill was saying that
Oh,
to Ringo.
Ringo.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, not Ike.
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, he was like, no, this is not the time, not the time. You know, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of
I want
halfway
your
through the
love.
movie.
You're right. Listen, I agree
want
with
your
you.
souls.
I want your blood.
And I want them right now.
So,
I love
go
the
ahead.
guy who plays Johnny Ringo too. I love his,
Michael Bain, I believe.
Michael
is his name.
Bain, yeah.
Yeah.
Just his character is just so good.
As far as the baddies go, he's my favorite. And then, but as far as everyone else, honestly, Doc Holliday just kind of suckers me in.
I like Doc
Oh,
too.
yeah.
of course.
Other than the
absolutely.
decisions made by the screenplay, the writer, other than those decisions, I do like Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
What decision? What are you
I didn't
talking
like the fake death bullshit scene. I just found that to be a waste of time.
about?
I just see it as a big waste of time. I don't understand why it happened. I don't get it. Why did
Oh,
that
when he was
take
in
place?
the hospital bed.
The first time.
He's talking about when
When he was at the Hooker's Ranch.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's at
okay.
Hooker's
Thank you.
Ranch,
Yes.
because he knows that Wyatt can't beat Ringo,
Right.
so he goes in.
I
instead.
honestly think I took it this way. He when he says at the oak tree after he guns down
Yep, Ringo.
Ringo, He tells Wyatt, "Oh, I wasn't quite as sick as I made out."
Yep.
No, he was. He just
Yeah, I think he
he was worried that his friend was going to die. He knew his friend was going to die.
So he
didn't
got there
want that
first.
to happen. So he made sure to get there first.
He just mustered
because he was
everything
still. You saw him, man. He was
Yeah,
still
no, he
sweating.
looks like shit,
His
yeah.
eyes looked terrible. I mean, he was still coughing.
Okay.
You know, so I think he was. He was just.
Yeah, I'm willing to accept that. I am. I just wish they hadn't spent so much damn time on it then.
I do like
It seemed really
the
long.
progression
Oh, it's fun.
of his sickness in this movie.
Oh, this-
I
yeah,
liked
I
how
agree with
at
you.
the very
Yeah.
beginning he didn't look too bad. I mean, he looked sickly a little bit, but he didn't look like death on knocking on death's door.
like towards the end.
yeah, towards the end they like really whitened him up and like it looked bad.
Actual Doc Holliday, by the way, lung cancer, tuberculosis. What do you-
Tuberculosis.
It was tuberculosis.
Yeah, he got it when he was 15 when he was caring for his mother
Wow.
with tuberculosis.
Wow, it carried it that long.
He carried it that long, and
Damn.
he moved to Tombstone or out west
Yeah.
to maybe think that it was the climate that would kind of cure him.
Yeah, the
But-
drier climate would.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, you got to give everything a chance at
yeah,
some point.
sure.
Right? Yeah,
You know, when
I
he
hear you.
dies, he says that line, "I'll be damned," and then he laughs.
yes,
Well,
know-
he's like, "This is funny."
yeah. This is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's leading theories of why he might have said that.
Yeah, because he supposedly really said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The leading theory is that he became a gunfighter and hoping that someone would kill him and spare him of the tuberculosis, and he just thought it was kind of ironic that the way that he dies isn't through.
It's in a hospital bed.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't through
Dang.
his recklessness of his life,
And to
but through the disease.
expand upon that, I heard something very, very similar, but it was more toward how his feet were hanging out of the sheets.
Yeah.
And he always thought that he would die with like a gunfighter's death with his boots on.
Oh.
And he looks down and he sees his bare feet and he's like, this is funny. And then dies.
Yeah.
So he dies without his boots on.
Yeah, I got one more thing that I found interesting
Sure.
about this, since we were talking about Ringo's death
Yeah.
here. So I am going to go down a little bit of a path of hidden figures here.
Okay.
Okay.
Why, Justin? Whatever,
Whatever
do
do
you
you
mean?
Let me get my scorecard ready. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Justin. Happy
So, in reality, Johnny Ringo did not die at the hands of Doc Holliday. So,
Okay.
on July 14th, 1882, Ringo's body was found lying against the trunk of a large tree in West Turkey Creek Valley. A neighboring property owner heard a single gunshot on the afternoon of July 13th, and he discovered Ringo's body the following day, on the 14th. His feet were wrapped in strips of cloth torn from his undershirt, probably because his horse had gotten loose from its picket and bolted with his boots tied to the saddle, which was a method commonly used at the time to keep scorpions out of them.
Okay.
There was a single bullet hole in his right temple and an exit wound at the back of his skull. And his revolver had one round expended in it, and it was found hanging from one of his fingers in his hand. And then his horse was found 2 miles away with his boot still tied to him in the saddle. So it's
you-
suspected suicide.
Yeah.
Really?
Interesting.
Okay.
I didn't think that. I thought that Ringo actually died from Doc Holliday.
Yeah, apparently not. Not according to the coroner and everything. His body's actually buried near the base of the tree where he was found.
Yeah, no reason to drag him around too much. He's a dickhead anyway. Bury him there.
That's how you really feel, Eddie.
Johnny Ringo, here he died, and here he'll lie. Fuck him.
Well, I did like this this death scene way better. It was quite a payoff.
Oh, yeah.
I liked how he did get shot in the head, and he was still alive. And I loved how Doc, he's like coaching him. He's like, "Come on,
Yeah.
come on,
You ain't no Daisy.
and he just yells at him. Yeah, you ain't no Daisy as he's passing out along this tree trunk. And I'm like, yeah, you die. Yeah, I hope you die.
Jesus.
Longer.
Probably my favorite Val Kilmer role. I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not Batman?
Oh,
No.
Jesus. Wow.
No.
Okay, let me ask you. Definitely not Batman. Wasn't that the one where they gave him nipples? Was the Val
No, I
Kilmer
think that
Batman?
was
George
George
Clooney.
That was
George
Clooney.
Clooney's where they gave him
Yeah.
nipples. Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay, so talking about the movie overall though, real fast. the addition of the actress love story thing with Wyatt Earp.
Yes.
Yeah, with Josephine.
Necessary?
Yes,
Unnecessary?
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of on the fence about it.
I don't think so.
I
I think it changes the name of the movie. I don't think it's necessary. I would rather them have gone in with a singular focus and made a really strong movie as opposed to busted up in these small pieces.
I think it's necessary because from what I remember, they actually did meet in Tombstone, and that ended up being his wife of 47 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go through the whole timeline of them being in Tombstone and then like the OK Corral,
Yeah.
and didn't even picture her in this, I was like, okay, well, where is she at?
It would seem like something's missing. I wish they would have added another scene, or they did allude to it in a deleted scene.
Yeah, on the director's cut.
Yeah, there's a deleted scene where Wyatt and Maddie are at home, and Wyatt's cleaning up or whatever, and he finds a bunch of empty opium bottles in the dresser, and they start arguing about that. And well, then Maddie says, "Look, I need it. It keeps the only thing to keep me warm at night because you're out there with her or whatnot." You know, she says something like that. And then Wyatt's like, "Oh, I'll make this right. This, that, or the other," alluding to he's having an affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, Are you willing to go and tell her in front of me that she's dirt, that she means nothing, and just basically all this stuff, I don't want anything to do with you?" And he just stares back at her.
Yeah.
So I think if they would have left that scene in, it would have made a larger impact.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Of that he's actually leaving his wife for this.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're right. There
for
is
this
not
other
really.
woman.
Yeah, there really isn't a scene of where they do an official breakup.
The only scene that kind of solidifies it is when they're done at the OK Corral, and he pretty much just doesn't look around for her. She like runs around, and then he's actually eye gazing. Was it Josephine? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's eye gazing Josephine because she ran out,
Right.
and he's just like, "Hey, I just shut up all these guys. Look at me,
Okay.
I'm so
and,
tough."
and the final nail in the coffin there is
Yeah.
when is after Morgan dies.
Yes.
And he's out in the street, and Josephine runs over to him, and he's like, "Get the
That's
hell away
right.
from get away from me, get away from me, get away from me." And then Maddie is looking at him, and he turns around, and she just turns around and walks off too. I was like, okay, yeah, now they're both done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's I'm with you guys. So instead of saying cut them, then it sounds like we're saying they needed to go longer and add more.
Yes.
Okay. I'm willing to go both ways. I think if they did that and maybe made it more a part of the story, then I'm more okay
Yeah.
with the sign. It's almost the shootist at that point. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
It's almost more like that there's there are a definite solid two serious plot lines happening here.
Yeah.
Then I'd be more okay with it.
Because I mean,
think. Yeah.
Tombstone wasn't actually for Earp to start over again. It was it was actually for him to start over, yes, but not to be as a marshal or a lawman. It was to be just a businessman. Just to retire.
I mean, they could have cut out the second revenge ride and then put in this.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
and,
with you. Yeah.
and I don't know, and I don't even know if there's a way to even get this script, but the original shooting script was longer than this one. It wasn't as in depth as what Justin was saying earlier about everybody having plot lines and backstories, but it was actually there were several scenes that they didn't even shoot.
Yeah.
That Cosmatos and Kurt Russell removed in order to make that December deadline.
Right, yeah.
So
Gotcha.
it could have been in there. It was just it was never shot.
Okay. So
And
there's
in fact, they changed it so much that Sam Elliott said, if this script right now that we're shooting was presented to me originally, I would have never taken the film.
yeah, I could see that.
Wow.
Yeah, and to me, okay, that's another thing too. Sam Elliott, I kind of wanted him to be Wyatt Earp. Like I like Sam Elliott more than Kurt Russell in this. I'll say
Oh,
it.
really? Oh,
Yeah. I did.
Nah,
I did.
I think Kurt Russell was probably one of the best Earps.
I like Kurt Russell. I'm just saying, if I have to pick out of this movie, if I was to pick an actor out of those two in particular,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
taking Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott was too old though.
yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay.
I mean, you could I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I would color his beard. Okay, and I don't know. I like Sam Elliott more than Russell.
Sam
Russell
Elliott
has a comedic element to himself for some reason. Something about his voice, the way he says things, sometimes has this. He has this comedy to his voice that I just didn't.
I don't know about that, because the first time that he talks to it was Billy Bob Thornton's character.
Oh yeah,
Billy Bob Thornton, by the way, does not look like Billy Bob Thornton in this movie.
No, he does not.
I was about to say, a lot of people does not realize that Billy Bob Thornton is in this
He
movie.
looks like Oliver Platt. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's Billy Bob Thornton channeling Oliver Platt.
He is a fat Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, if you're looking for Billy Bob Thornton in this movie, he is at the very beginning.
Oh man,
He plays
Plays that gambler.
Johnny Tyler.
Yeah, Johnny Tyler.
Yeah.
The Mad
he's
Cat.
about 25 minutes into the movie. He's not in the beginning. He's not in the Mexican murder scene.
It's right after the Earps arrive in Tombstone,
Yeah.
and then Wyatt goes to the
Oriental.
the Oriental,
yeah.
and he basically fucks him up.
He's like, hey, you're in my chair.
He bitch slaps him 3 times.
No, this is see,
Pull
when
that
you,
smoke wagon.
Yeah. Pull that smoke wagon and throw down, boy.
Just some. I don't know.
But I don't know. You're saying that Kurt Russell has this comedic type voice,
not
or
the
whatever.
whole time. Not the
But
whole time. That's
I know.
a good scene.
But
with
man,
him, yeah.
I'd say when he gets to business,
yeah.
you almost want to shit yourself.
But see, here's my. I agree with you in
Yeah.
that scene. He does a really good job. I'm not disagreeing with you on that scene. But to me, I don't know. Sam Elliott always seems like the business. He
Well,
never seems like I'm like.
and
Sam
he's a
Elliott,
very one-dimensional
kind
character.
of a joker. I don't disagree.
Now hold
with
on.
that.
I liked him in that
Big Lebowski.
Bigfoot movie. Oh yeah, that too. He didn't even understand why the hell he was in that movie.
I know.
But no, there's a Bigfoot movie.
The Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot.
No.
For my next
Oh,
bill.
you're talking about the man
I'm-
who killed Hitler in Bigfoot.
Yes, that one. He's
Yes,
in that.
yes.
Does a phenomenal job.
But
Oh, I know what
he's
movie
still
you're talking
Sam Elliott. He's still a straight-laced Sam Elliott.
plays,
yeah.
yeah.
He's still a dick in that
Well, I mean,
movie,
he's
too.
not going to be like he's not going to all of a sudden turn into Robin Williams in the Birdcage. You
No,
know?
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I mean by one-dimensional. Is he's
Yeah.
always the guy that's in, he's the rough, gruff.
But in
I'm
a Western,
going to talk really low.
Hold on. But exactly. So is John Wayne, and the fucking every Western ever had John Wayne in it. I'm just saying. I think that as far as Kurt Russell goes, I don't mind him in this movie. I just like Sam Elliott more. That's all
I
I'm saying.
think he did a great job in this. I think, honestly, I think everybody does a fantastic
wasn't
job
a big
in this.
Bill Paxton fan in this either.
I like Bill Paxton.
Did you really in this?
Yeah, Bill Paxton is basically he's been in almost everything, and you're like, oh, this movie. Yeah, Bill Paxton was in this movie. Oh, well, this movie. Oh yeah, Bill Paxton was in this.
Okay.
Wait, where?
I will say
And
this.
he's like, oh yeah, he's walking around here and he's got one line, and he's like, yeah, it's Bill fucking Paxton.
When I was asked one time what my favorite Bill Paxton movie is, because somebody thought I was going to say Twister because I've seen it 847 times.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Weird Science. And they're like, he's in Weird Science? I was like, yeah, he plays the older brother who's like burping in their faces and smashing their heads together.
I did kind of chuckle when
he turns into the shit monster at
That's
the end of the
right,
movie.
yeah.
I did kind of chuckle when it was storming, or the storm was coming.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there at the table, like eating dinner with Wyatt, and the thunder. He's like, yeah, the thunder's getting closer, and I'm thinking, oh my god, Twister, because it's almost like the same lightning and thunder as in Twister. It's
Yeah.
kind of
apparently-
that Hollywood cheesy lightning.
Apparently, this lightning was real.
What?
Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Like Zeus.
Just want to point that out. Apparently the gods even smiled upon this
Well,
movie.
I mean, the
Yeah,
lightning that
apparently
didn't.
all the footage of the lightning was real.
Well, yeah, all the lightning, sure, in the distance was real, but
Yeah.
like the lightning that's coming through the windows and stuff like that inside, that wasn't real.
It was during the scenes of when like Morgan gets shot and all that.
Really?
Because apparently they shot it during like a monsoon season.
Holy cow! So saying that the rain was real?
Yeah.
Holy cow! That seems a little strange.
Strange
but-
as
Yeah.
well. I agree.
huh?
I'm
John
just
Wick-
going by what I.
So you're saying that Kurt Russell with his blood on his hands
I
was
think
supposed
so.
to be in dry outside, but they're like, you know what? Screw it. It's raining. It's horrible. Let's
I
film
mean,
it.
or they're already going to do it in the rain. Just happen to be in the right season at the right time.
Like, yes, saving money on rain machines.
There's a bunch of rain techs like, well, we're fucking useless.
Yeah, right. Well, we're not getting paid today, boys.
Now we're unionized. It's
Yeah.
fine.
That's a good point. That's a good
Now
point.
We get
Mother
paid
Nature's
either way,
getting paid.
gentlemen.
That Mickey Rourke actually turned down the role of Johnny Ringo.
I'm kind of glad he did.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I did like
Absolutely.
seeing Michael Rooker in here.
Oh, yeah, he plays a little bit part as
Sherman
McMasters.
Masters.
Is there anyone else that you would even consider for the role of Doc Holliday?
Absolutely.
I
not.
mean, it's hard to say after this performance.
Well, obviously,
It's hard to think of anybody else that would.
Sam Elliott.
do-
Walter Matthau.
and be no and be no burn.
Well, okay,
cost.
what age?
I'll be your
What age would they
Huckleberry.
need to be?
Bro.
Well, it's the age
Fucking
that the age that's in the movie.
It's like 35, 40 years
Yeah,
old.
I guess around in there. I don't know.
God, in the 1980s, Matthew Broderick. I don't know who the fuck would you
Ugh.
who would you cast in the
93?
1990s? I mean, in the early 90s.
Hell, they're in this movie. Like anybody that had a chance of playing Doc Holiday would probably be in this
there's
movie.
one.
Billy Zane.
There's one that's
I was about to say Billy Bob Thornton. He's not in this.
yes.
Jason Priestley. Oh wait, he's already in this movie.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Who cast? Who was
Willem
auditioned?
Dafoe.
Oh God. No.
Willem Dafoe, and he was actually slated to be Doc Holliday. He was going to be Doc Holliday, but their only
Yeah.
avenue for release was Buena Vista from Disney, and Disney said no.
Okay, now I will say this: Willem Dafoe as Johnny Ringo
Yes.
would have been a good call.
But you
right?
you have why they nixed on him, right?
I do not have why they nixed on him.
Oh, it's because he was in a previous movie called The Last Temptation of Christ,
Oh,
and they didn't want to have that associated with this movie.
fair enough.
Huh.
So, kind of along the same lines, if we could get rid of his accent, Al Pacino. I think Al Pacino would have made an interesting Doc Holliday.
Oh my God.
Right?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah. I'm saying without the accent. Okay,
I don't
you got to
think
lose
that-
the
look
accent.
at her, Wyatt.
But-
She's got a great ass.
But Wyatt, I don't care for that theater.
I don't care.
Actually, no.
Oh my God.
Let's recast this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
This is what we usually do to these movies.
I think
We
you
try to
put
make them
Willem-
better or something.
I think you put Willem Dafoe and Johnny Ringo because I would love to see Willem Dafoe face off against Al Pacino in
know-
the
Oh my
last
God.
scene.
I think Willem Dafoe
terrible.
as Doc Holliday, I have a feeling he would play it like his character in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
You
just
know,
crazy?
Just kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be weird.
Where's the scene where he says,
Ooh.
to the intern, hey, go get me a bagel,
Yeah.
cream cheese, whatever.
That's
Sweet and low.
no,
Sweet and low.
that's the Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints, that's
Yeah,
what I meant to
yeah.
say, not Reservoir
So
Dogs.
super,
I was thinking-
super
No,
gay.
no,
hell was
Sorry.
he?
Was he
Was he
Mr.
Mr.
It wasn't
Pink?
Mr. Brown, Mr. Pink, Mr. Red.
No,
So-
it was the other movie that Billy Bob Thornton was in.
Oh God.
So super gay is what you're saying? Because he was like super gay in
Yeah.
Boondock Saints. Like
Yeah,
that's the
but-
whole
well,
shtick,
flamboyant.
right? Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah. Okay, so super flamboyant.
I think that's how he would probably play it.
Yeah, and I think okay, I could see that. I would also say because you brought up Reservoir Dogs, I was going to say Harvey Keitel might have been kind of interesting as Doc Holliday because he was. I don't know. I really like his character Wolf, Mr. Wolf in Pulp Fiction. It's one of the only one of the only scenes I really like about that movie is with Harvey Keitel in it because he just randomly shows up in a tuxedo
Yeah, just starts calling shots.
and making fun of John Travolta the whole time. I'm like, I like this guy. I hate John Travolta too. Let's do this.
Now, another one like Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Stallone.
No.
Frank
Nope.
Stallone. No. Like Frank Stallone was in this movie.
Oh, was he really?
Yes.
I didn't
And
see him.
You didn't see him?
No.
Justin?
No, I don't.
Kyle?
Frank
I don't
Stallone.
remember him.
No.
Yeah. Ed Bailey. He was Ed Bailey right at the beginning with playing cards with Doc Holliday.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, that was
I'd
Frank
have to
Stallone.
see it again.
Yeah, I'd have to watch. I'd have to. I
It
don't
doesn't
remember
look
that.
like Frank Stallone, doesn't sound like Frank Stallone, but it was Frank Stallone.
That's really funny.
Interesting. Wow. That's yeah. You're right. I mean, I know you're right, but when you're right, you're right.
When I'm right, I'm right. You know?
Jesus Christ. Exactly.
And I'm right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
The cast list on this movie is just insane.
It's epic.
It is an epic cast because anybody who's anybody is in this film.
Well, I will say.
Except for Kevin Costner.
Well, here's what I was going to say.
Well, but it's because he was too busy
Zane.
trying to make his own damn thing.
Well, it's almost like anybody who's anybody was in a western in the 19 because this was at the height of the whole like country music is making a cut. Like Billy Ray Cyrus was combing his 4-foot mullet while this movie was being filmed, right? Like Achy Breaky Heart.
Was that around?
Oh, hell yeah.
Garth Brooks was hitting the high notes. You know, Alan Jackson was really hot. Like this is when country music was making the country movie, you know, Western movie comebacks. So Dances with Wolves was 94 as well, wasn't it?
No. That was
92?
Year later. I think it's 95.
No.
see, Dances
Really?
with that was actually 1990.
90.
Wow.
Oh, Dances with Wolves. I thought you were talking about Wyatt Earp.
No,
My
Wyatt
bad.
Earp. Okay, Wyatt Earp was 94. We
Yeah.
already said that. But also Quick and the Dead with Gene Hackman and
Oh, that's like
Oh yeah.
that would have been 92, I think.
That had
I was
what's
thinking
his
90
face?
also.
That's
95.
90.
That was 95?
Yeah, the Quick and the
Jesus
Dead.
Christ. Why am I so off on these then? That's nuts. I thought that was 92 for some reason. What are you thinking, John? You got
trying to
something else?
I'm trying to think of who else was in Quick and the Dead.
Gene Hackman, the girl.
Yeah, Gene Hackman,
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone,
and,
thank you.
and the Gladiator dude.
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yes,
he was
Leo
Court.
was in it too.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
didn't
I forgot
think-
about Leo. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
but I mean, like Wyatt Earp that was filming at the same time.
Yeah.
had Kevin Costner, Gene Hackman, Dennis Quaid, Mark Harmon, Michael Madsen. So I mean, it had Bill Pullman, Tom Sizemore.
Oh, Michael Madsen's a better
So-
baddie too, by the way, than Powers Booth.
No, not better than Powers Booth.
I think so. Think about Kill Bill. Michael Madsen was
yeah, I
a
know,
much better baddie.
well,
than,
yeah,
or
but do you
Reservoir
want
Dogs.
a
Yeah.
crazy bad guy or a calm, cool, collected, calculating bad guy? That's the thing.
I think he would have made like a good like associate, like one of the Cowboys.
Like
You know,
maybe
like
an Ike
McMaster.
Clanton.
How about Johnny Ringo then?
Yeah, maybe.
Michael Madsen is Johnny Ringo.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. I'm with
Yeah, though I do like Ringo in this.
Yeah.
Michael
you. You like
Biehn.
Michael Bain?
Yes.
I gotta be honest though. Name another Michael Bain movie.
I don't know.
I can name
Tombstone.
one. No, Navy
Tombstone 2.
Navy SEAls with Charlie Sheen.
Oh yeah,
That's got Michael.
Oh, wait, isn't
his
he
list,
in-
His movies are not that great, bro.
The
Like,
Rock. Isn't he in The Rock?
I don't know if he's in The Rock. He's definitely in a movie like that, though. If he's not in The Rock, he's in something like it. Michael Bain's
Oh
not
hell, he
a-
was Kyle Reese in Terminator.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. His movies are not great.
Holy
He's
cow.
he's not on a great movie list.
But,
He does a good job in this movie. I'll give you
yeah,
that.
he was in The
but-
Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
He was Commander Anderson.
That's
He was in
right.
Aliens.
Yes.
Planet Terror.
Yes, he
That's
was
awesome.
in. He was in Aliens. He was in Predator.
Planet Terror.
Oh,
yeah.
Planet Terror.
Planet
I
Terror,
thought I
no.
heard you say Predator. I was
No,
like,
no,
he
no.
was in Predator. He played-
Terminator.
He played the Predator, right?
No. Yeah, he was in the mask.
I was in The
man.
Mandalorian. I didn't know that.
Did not either.
Oh.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
He played the old guy in The Mandalorian because he's like fucking 60 now.
Oh, he played
Gosh.
Lang.
Nope. Nothing.
It's only in one episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Thomas Hayden Church. What do you guys think about him?
Thomas
he's okay.
Hayden Church? Who was that in the movie?
He was
Stevens-
Billy
Billy.
Clanton.
He was
Everybody said it at the same time. I'm
Billy.
sorry.
Billy Clanton.
I was gonna say Steven
He's like-
Stinkin' Froster.
like Ike. He goes, the drunk piano player. You're probably seeing double. That
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
One for each of you.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of him. Didn't like him in Sideways either, so
Oh, you know something I learned about this movie?
sure.
Or
What did you learn about this movie?
something sort of interesting to me.
Sort of. Yeah.
No, so when they played the scene with Holliday, he was playing on the piano, and when Billy came up to him and they were talking and all, and for some reason, I've seen this movie 10, 20 times, whatever. I just noticed like how out of tune the piano is.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, it's
I'd
bad.
never noticed it
yeah.
before.
It's a horrible piano.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that either, to be honest.
it's awful.
That's
yeah.
funny.
So I
It's
started
way out of
I
tune.
started looking into it. It's actually really common in like the Old West.
Oh,
back
yeah.
then, because what would happen is when they transported the piano to these towns, the wagons
Yeah.
basically just
They
got them
shook
all,
them to shit. Yeah.
shook
I
'em
thought it was
to-
all from like the cool bar fights that ran into the
no,
piano or
no,
something.
and then like towns would hire like piano tuners that would go around the bars
Oh,
just
okay.
to
Oh, wow.
tune them after they got shipped.
Dang.
I'm sorry. When you. I'm cracking up. The scene in Three Amigos when everyone in the bar thinks that
My little buttercup
Oh,
has the
jeez.
sweetest smile.
the bartender.
Wow.
when they point at the bartender and he's like,
My little buttercup.
that's all I can
Jesus.
picture in my mind.
Wow.
Was Steve Martin and they're dancing around the room and then they both point to him. He's like, sweetest smile. He's like, oh.
So let's talk a little
Sorry.
bit about every
Oh,
Western, they always have gunfights, right?
Yes.
So in this movie, I didn't really pay attention. Like all the other times that I watched it, I didn't really pay close attention to the accuracies of the guns.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Like
this
how many
time,
bullets were left? and
Yeah,
all?
this time I really did pay attention, and because I start making these comments on all the other movies that have like unlimited rounds in these magazines and everything. Well, you had your typical 6 shooters, right? And then if you had 2, you had 12, right? Well, a lot of
Powers
these.
Booth. Powers Booth had the biggest revolver ever.
When he was on the Chinese peace pipe, he
Yeah.
was like having hallucinations and howling at the moon and everything. He was shooting off a lot, and then he had at least one more to shoot the marshal.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think it was during the OK Corral where I really noticed that, like the double barrel shotguns.
Yeah.
Right. So Doc Holliday shoots
the guy
in the air.
Yeah.
Shoots the guy in the chest, and then immediately cuts to the opposite side of him, and he shoots again. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's only 2 shots in this thing.
Here's what I think, because I do know that is supposed to be one of the most accurate depictions of the OK Corral.
Like the actual gunfight itself.
The actual fight itself, where people were standing, the number of shots, all that stuff. So I'm of the mindset, Kyle and I actually already talked about this. I'm of the mindset that Doc shot in the air, shot the guy holding the horse, and then during that cutaway, he was only able to get 1 shell in the double barrel shotgun.
Jesus.
And get another shot off. That's what I'm of the mindset of.
I have a feeling he probably would have threw the shotgun away and then switched to.
Well, he ended up doing that after
pistols.
the third one. Yeah.
After the third one that shouldn't have been there, he definitely threw it away. Justin.
I mean, if you're gonna have time to reload 1, you should have time to reload 2.
It does take
technically,
time.
right?
What was funny though is like you said, why don't you just drop the shotgun and just go to your pistol or whatever. My wife actually said the same thing of why did they drop the shotgun? I was like, well, you know how long it takes to reload one of those? Yeah. Just drop and scoot, man.
I mean, when
drop
Doc
the gun and take out your pistol and start firing.
When he comes up to the corral, he takes his coat off and he has 2 pistols on him,
right?
That you can see.
Yeah.
Well, and they did the same. They did a similar thing whenever Kurt Russell does the whole like walking on water scene and he comes across. He's shooting a shotgun.
That was actually the scene. She was like, "Why are you tossing the shotgun in the water?" And I thought, okay, well maybe it was the why toss it in the river or something like that. But no, she's like, well, no, the shotguns are really powerful.
Yeah.
why are you throwing that away? I was like, well, he's in the middle of a river.
But hadn't he already shot like 4 times by the time he shot?
Almost.
By the time he throws it away.
It's because Sam Elliott talked to him and he said, "Look, similar to my movie, where I played the master." We're
talking about We Are Soldiers?
Yeah.
We Are Soldiers?
Similar to my movie that I played, that we are soldiers. Whenever you need another shotgun, there'll be plenty on the ground.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
I mean, we do see him reload a couple times in that scene.
Yeah.
There's some reloading that takes place throughout the movie, but overall, I'm with you. Like these revolvers have way too many rounds in them.
Yeah.
But speaking of that scene where he's walking on water, the way it happened wasn't true, like 100%. But I've read a couple things now where that type of situation actually happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
Where he walked out in the middle of just some open space and just never got hit.
Did the screenwriters, whenever he did it in reality, did they get to lay back on just one word for the entire dialogue, just over and over and over?
No.
I would rather him not say anything than sit there and say no 56 times. I'm like, what the hell?
No,
they're
Eddie.
like, we need him to say something. No.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm kind of with you on that. That is kind of to me too.
There's that and there's the slow motion dying.
And
I'm
then,
not a fan of the
and
slow
then
motion when John.
We'll slow mo his last no as he.
When there's that, but then there's also when Bill Paxton gets shot through the window and he's like, and it's all slow. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be in slow motion.
And the director's cut, it's a couple of seconds longer that Bill Paxton scene.
Well,
they slowed it down even more.
You get shot in the back, and
no, it's just $6 Million Man slow motion bullshit. I don't like the slow motion stuff, but it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's a little TV movie, but it's okay.
Well,
So's the coloring.
let's see how much this little TV movie cost to make.
Oh, millions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going 45 million.
Well,
by the way.
I usually say the budget.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I usually okay. So it cost $25 million
Shit,
to
I
make.
overshot. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So 25 mil to make.
We used
so
to guess, by the way. On
did
this?
this?
Show.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
kinda
we
like
got
this
rid
is-
of that boring part.
yeah,
enough.
we're talking about numbers and stuff closest to the pin. Nah. All right. So was this a success?
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So a major success, minor
Yes,
success.
major. I'm
Wait.
thinking they probably made 8 times their money back.
I'm going to go
okay.
not that much, but I will ask: are we going from 1994 to now with the money? Because if that,
Well, I mean, you can't go back.
no, I'm with you, but I mean, is this number he's
No,
looking at?
pre 1993, Eddie.
No, I get it. But I'm saying, like, in terms of if the number is from then to now with
Well,
syndication
I'm assuming-
rights and everything.
All I got
Then,
is
yeah.
gross worldwide numbers.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's probably made the money back at least 3 times. I'm gonna say 120 million is what they've grossed. I don't think
Okay.
it's 240 million dollars personally, but
Put words in
you
my
never
mouth.
know. Well, you said 8 times 25, right? What is that? 200 million? 200 million.
I'm on a
There
show
you go.
called Screen Riot, not Math Riot. Okay?
Fair
That's
enough.
right. That's why we do this.
Although that's
Justin,
the next podcast we're doing.
You think it's like a huge
Math
success,
right.
or
I'm gonna do a dissenting no. No, of course, yeah. It's
Okay.
it's a major success.
well, according to IMDb, it made $56.5 million.
wow.
Wow.
So not
That's it?
so just kind of half.
so like
Yeah.
2.5.
That- yeah,
And this
I don't
was
believe it.
and this was a Christmas movie. This came out December
believe it.
26th, 1993.
I like John. I don't believe it. Nope, it's not possible.
Nope,
Movie's amazing.
I
Shut
don't
up.
believe it.
Ah!
Well, we can contest IMDb at a
No,
later,
so
at
here's
a later
the thing.
time.
I believe it because I was never a huge fan of this movie. I did not like it that much. I did not see it in the movie theater, but I did see it when it came
Oh,
out
yeah.
on DVD.
no rape.
That's the problem.
Oh,
there was no
God.
no. Jesus, dude, come on. Be
Wow.
a little couth with this. Although Quick and the
Great.
Dead had it, by the way. Just gonna point that out.
That's the next movie.
Quick and the
No.
Dead knew what they were doing.
So yeah,
Jesus.
56.5 million.
And there
gross
is actually at the
worldwide.
beginning of this movie, if you look closely, the Mexican girl gets drug into the church by 4
No,
of the
she
Cowboys.
gets immediately shot.
Yeah,
No, she doesn't.
you hear the
Yes, she does.
gunshot go off.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, you hear it.
You hear a gunshot. I know,
Yeah,
but
immediately. Like she gets
Okay.
dragged in there, and then bang, and then
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, let's eat, boys."
Strange that they drug her away to shoot her. I don't understand why do that.
No, I'm with you too because the way it's filmed and everything, it does seem like there's like 3 or 4 guys
Well, and you
that are
got Mc-
dragging her into the.
And you got McMaster's doing his judgy view, face whenever they're dragging her away, and we know he doesn't like raping women because that's why he leaves the gang in the whole end. So I kind of went with.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's
Maybe
a gunshot
they-
that's off screen.
maybe
so
it
maybe
was-
they were shooting somebody else.
Or maybe they dubbed it in afterwards because they went, "Hey guys, we're trying to go for like a
It's a-
PG-13 rating, and
Yeah,
we need
rapey
shooters
on the women
to-
is not going to be good."
Even though it's R,
that's why I'm with
Yeah.
you. But yeah.
but
Real quick, though,
It's a Disney movie.
Before we move on, I want to say something about the phrase, I am your Huckleberry.
Okay.
oh yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, apparently that comes from pallbearers who, I guess back in the day,
Yep.
they wore Huckleberry in
Okay.
their lapel.
To deal with the smell.
When Val Kilmer says, "I'll be your Huckleberry,"
I'll be your pallbearer.
I'll be your pallbearer.
Oh, I like that.
I will kill you.
Ooh, I like that. It makes me like that saying that much more.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just because
See,
of all the memes and.
But it's funny though because I've read probably 2 or 3 other interpretations of that too. I've read that one.
Is one of them? I'll be your cartoon dog.
No,
Named
one is
Huckleberry.
one of them is and
And one's also Hucklebuck. Like, could he be saying Hucklebuck?
what is Huckle?
A Hucklebuck is the name for the pallbearer.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, that's
They
where I was
called
gonna
it a
go.
Huck. Yeah, they
Okay.
called the pallbearer itself instead of pallbearer, it was a Hucklebuck.
Yeah,
Because they wore the Huckleberry.
the well, it was because of the handles on the casket were called Hucks.
Okay.
So
everything to do with the pallbearer. So no matter
Yes,
what
yeah.
the
Exactly.
explanation is,
Exactly.
he's basically saying, "I'll be your pallbearer."
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I'll
I'm
put you
with
in
the
a
idea.
groove.
same end, but
Yeah.
I'm just curious which one is true or not.
Here lies less more.
Oh God.
Yeah, so there was
I
another.
hated that damn tombstone. I saw it. I was like, I hate this so much.
According to worldwidewords.org,
Yes.
it says, to be one's Huckleberry usually has a phrase, "I'm your Huckleberry," is to just be the right person for a given job or a willing executor of some commission.
And that's the way I kind of take it, because he answers in an affirmative when I'll be your Huckleberry.
I'll participate and kill you and be your pallbearer. There we go. He just says it all.
Same thing, yeah.
It has a double meaning.
Maybe that's why they picked it.
They were speaking Latin together. I'm sure.
I know, right? That wasn't good.
I love that too. I love that whole in wine there's truth Latin fight.
Let me say this: I do like the Latin fight. I don't like the cinematography for that fight.
No?
I don't like. No, it's
the Latin fight.
It's weird. No, I like. I like their.
Yeah,
I like their
it.
like battle of wits. I just didn't like the cinematography for that scene in particular. I didn't like it. That's the only. It was one of the only scenes I didn't like, because there was another scene with Doc Holliday where he's sitting at the poker table,
yeah,
and they do. I forget what it's called, but it's where they shorten the guy sitting at the other end of the table is brought up kind of really close, but they enlarge Val Kilmer's face, and there's a blurry line in between. What the hell is that called?
I forgot what it's called, but they basically just double expose,
double expose,
like the film.
And I like that shot because it was like,
because film cameras obviously back then, well, even today, if you go really close to somebody, that whole background is just really blurred.
But they don't blur. It didn't blur out the poker player that he's up against.
That scene, that scene is in focus because that was shot separately.
Yes,
and
I like that shot.
They do that a lot in this movie.
Yeah, but they didn't
probably
do it
like
on the
3 or 4 times.
They didn't do it on the Latin thing. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, John. Or John.
Were you gonna say something?
No, I'm good.
It's Justin.
I didn't have time to write my summary, so I'm trying to go over it in my head.
So the critics at Rotten Tomatoes, they give this a 74%, and the audience gives it a 94%.
Yeah,
right,
it's definitely
like
a classic, cult classic.
Is that what it is? They like westerns?
Yeah, that's all it is.
They could have liked Sam Elliott. They could have liked Val Kilmer. They could have
maybe
Bill
because
Paxton.
it's just a damn good movie.
That's right.
right.
It's a damn good movie.
Okay. Well, we ready to do scores then?
Yeah.
I believe it's John.
John is the first one.
Johnny Ringo.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
No?
It sounds less tough when you say it. You would never have been cast as Doc Holliday.
Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry. Sorry.
I didn't think you sounded like that. That was just mean.
I thought I said that accidentally.
I'll be your Huckleberry. 01011. Jesus.
Right.
Shoot him at bang bang.
Well, I really like this movie, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I've done, just based on this, I've read several, after watching this movie, back in the early 90s, I bought books and read about the OK Corral in the West, and it just went on a whole Louis Lamar streak of reading, westerns. But it is one of my favorite westerns, despite not having John Wayne in it or Clint Eastwood. But the cast is absolutely phenomenal. The production notes and just what they had to go through to get this film made, despite basically all of Kevin Costner's friends in Hollywood being against it. I like the brightness of it. The actual, it's like you're actually there instead of just seeing a secondhand recolorization of the film. I like the love story between Wyatt and Josephine. I think it's a little campy at times, but I think it's needed in the story. And I love the fact that Charlton Heston was in it. I mean, as little that he was in it, I think it's awesome that he came back to the screen to do something, which is pretty cool. I am going to give this film.
Oh, hold on. Let's hear it, guys. Ready?
Drum roll.
Let's say it in Spanish. 10. No? Go ahead, John.
An 8.7.
Oh. 8.7. Yeah,
Okay.
nice. Sorry, I'm just thinking about all the shitty Spanish that was talked in the movie. Good job, though, John. I like that score.
It's not what he said, you ignorant wretch.
Yeah, exactly.
Spanish is worse than English.
The Spanish was so bad in this movie, they were calling it out themselves. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, so John, I'm right with you. This is one of my favorite movies. I must have seen it 10, 20 times. I don't know. Everybody's acting in it is top notch to me. I don't have the same qualms as you do, Eddie, about some of the characters.
Yeah, or most other movies too. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I hate everything, right?
Yeah.
No disagreement there.
Nope. Just moving on.
We will not argue with that.
Nope.
Oh man, I'm the worst.
But I do think it's a little long, and I have a feeling that that's one of the only reasons that I don't watch this on a yearly basis. You know, and it's not that long when you think about it. 2 hours, 10 minutes. That's not that
Just
long.
shy over 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah. I wish they would cut down on one of the rides that they do,
Right.
and cut down a little bit of the repetitiveness of that. I think if they did that, I mean, that would only cut out a couple minutes.
There's so many rides that Val Kilmer has to say it's the last ride of Wyatt Earp and his Immortals.
Yes.
It's like, this is the last one, guys.
Yeah.
We're not going to do any more after this.
And then the audience cheered. I'm actually going to give this a 9.
Eddie?
I'm sorry.
Just flip the 9 over. I bet that's going to be
God.
Eddie's. He'll give it a 6.
So, I am not on Team Tombstone with the rest of the boys here. I don't hate this movie, but I do find it to have a lot of flaws. Again, it comes across very campy to me at times. There are things that I like about it. I do like most of the scenes without the women in the movie. If you take away almost all the scenes with the women in the movie, I like the movie more. And since the movie is called Tombstone and not Wyatt Earp, I would have liked for it to have just centered on the shit that happened in Tombstone that was more the gunfighty, shoot 'em up stuff. I mean, it seemed to go that way because it starts out with the Cowboys killing the Mexican family, the Mexican other gang or whatever the hell that was at the beginning, because that's what it is. It's like a gang retaliation thing, right? So had they gone that route and stayed more with the pissiness of the Cowboys and less on the cutesy stuff, I didn't need the dance troupe and the theater boys and Jason Priestley and Billy Zane's unspoken love. I don't care about it, but I didn't need it. It's just not necessary to the film. So again, there's just little things like that either they cut that shit out and they make the movie laser focused on this is going to be a shoot 'em up Western, or they add in more and bring even more of the Josephine love story and more of the cutesy stuff, etc. And they have less cowboy shit at that point, in which case then the writing montages at the end are definitely not necessary. Right. So go one track or the other. Instead, they try to do both, and I just don't think they did a great job of it. Not that I hate the movie, again, just not a great job. I like Sam Elliott, I like Kurt Russell, and I definitely like Michael Bain and Doc Holliday. Val Kilmer, thank you.
You love Bill Paxton, too.
Didn't like Bill Paxton that much. I'm not a huge Bill Paxton fan, though, in general.
But what about the unsung hero, Billy Bob Thornton?
Oh, hell yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton is he's Oliver Platt in this movie. He's not even Billy Bob Thornton. I was waiting for him to go and try and fight a giant crocodile in a lake somewhere. It's an Oliver Platt movie, by the way. What the hell is it called? Lake Placid. Thank you. Lake Placid. Anyhow, for me, this movie is a pretty solid 4.8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Pretty
All right.
solid 4.8.
Did you mean 8.4?
I did not, sir.
Yeah, that's
Hugs and kisses.
that's basically
He'll be your Huckleberry.
You're gonna have to give this thing a 15, Kyle, in order to get that score up.
Hugs and kisses from Eddie.
I feel like Bill Paxton when he was playing pool.
Yeah.
That one night. Yeah.
Shot in the back. Huh?
I did like seeing the doctor
Ouch.
try and dig the bullet out, though. To Bill Paxton, that made me feel good about myself. I was like, yeah, get that fucker. Get it.
Good Lord.
Make him scream.
What did Bill Paxton ever do to you?
He made Twister.
Oh, God. You didn't have to watch the movie 3,000 damn times. Anyway.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. You
I did it to myself.
you did that to yourself.
Okay, let's hear your
All
score,
right.
Kyle. Go
So it's I really enjoy this movie a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite westerns. It's really close to. I actually like Silverado a little bit better. But it actually has the same music people in there. As Bruce Broughton, I think it was the composer.
Oh God, I forgot to even touch on the music.
Yeah, the music is
I didn't
epic.
I didn't like that.
I like
either.
the music.
I
Yeah.
did too.
I liked how they had it almost sounded like Marion's theme from Indy, but it was Josephine's theme. So every time that she showed up, she had her own theme song. I like
Didn't
that
even notice.
when that happens. But you know how everybody has their own theme
I'm with
songs.
you.
But
That's what I mean. Yeah.
and I just like the music in this. I need to get the vinyl for this. I do not have the vinyl for this, but I think overall You are right, Eddie. The people do seem a little bit too clean for being a Western. I tend to look at that kind of stuff too. And the shirt that what's his name? Oh gosh, I can't
Billy,
remember.
the blue one, blue shirt.
Yeah, was it Billy? At Hooker's Ranch.
Oh no, it wasn't Billy.
It was one of Earp's friends. Anyway, let me look up his name real quick so I can cut this.
Are you talking about the Western guy, the Texas Joe or whatever?
Jack.
Texas Jack. Thank you. Yeah.
What's his name? Texas Jack?
There's
Not
Texas
the long-haired
Jack
guy.
and
Oh, not the long hair guy. The other guy.
Jack
Yes.
Vermillion.
Yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
Texas Jack Vermillion. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's not.
Okay.
That's the long hair guy. It's the
Yeah.
other guy, the one who shoots the guy in the street.
his name is like Jack too.
His name is Turkey Creek Jack
Turkey
Johnson.
Creek Jack Johnson. That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Texas
Jack
Vermillion.
Vermillion?
That's
Yeah.
the one with
Yeah.
the tassels and everything. That's Texas Jack.
He's very spaghetti
he was
Western
the
shirt,
pudgy
though.
one.
Well, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the guy who owns the costume shop, and that's
Yeah.
actually
Okay.
an authentic.
So Turkey Creek Jack
That's actually
Johnson
authentic clothes.
is Buck Taylor?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To like 1892.
Yep, that's authentic.
Wait, hold on. We're not talking about I think we're talking about
No.
different people.
We're talking about Pony Deal, maybe?
Show us a picture, Justin or
Oh, God.
Kyle.
He's in this, too? From Yellowstone? Shit. I didn't even know that.
Who? Billy Bob Thornton. I'm gonna run this
Oh,
joke into the ground.
are you talking about McMaster's?
Not McMaster's, right? Are you talking about McMaster's?
Sherman? No, not Sherman McMaster's. It's the guy who rode with Texas Jack.
Texas Jack.
The skinny guy who
The
shot
skinny
the
guy.
guy in the street
Yeah.
because you had
Yeah.
Texas Jack who had the long hair and
Yeah.
was wearing like the
His-
Indian
his
stuff.
partner.
That guy I agree
Yeah,
with
Turkey
you.
Creek Jack
His
Johnson.
name is Turkey Creek Jack
Was it?
Johnson.
Yeah, Turkey Creek
Holy
Jack
shit.
Johnson.
Okay,
Skinny
so it's
guy.
Buck Taylor. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Buck Taylor.
Yeah.
What about him?
Yeah. All right. So
I'm sorry.
I was going.
You just looked at me and you're like, "Yeah."
He was waiting for a place to cut.
Yeah. I need a place to
I'm
cut.
sorry. I'll stop.
That's okay. And I think you're right, Eddie. Too. Like this whole movie is very clean. Like the outfits are very clean and everything. And the outfit that kind of made me laugh a little bit. There's always one in a Western where you have something that is kind of like off the rack costume, and you're like, oh well, we don't have any cool Western wear, but there's this one. And it looks like he's a band member. He's got the buttons that are all around the sides and stuff like that. And it was a Turkey Creek Jack Johnson. This Buck Taylor.
Yeah, no, I think I know what John's about to say. He's got that look on his face. That style of shirt
Yes.
is 100% authentic, and
It
I
is.
agree with that.
But there's always that very bright, because everybody else
Yes.
is wearing kind of like muted tone black.
It's the opposite of Hell on Wheels, John.
Well,
That's
Curly
the thing,
Bill
too.
has that really bright red
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah, he
Well,
does.
Maroonish. But
yeah, I mean it's
It's
still
just they all just recently visited the Chinese laundry. You know what I mean? They all just visited the Chinese laundry.
That's very similar to a Union.
yeah.
Or
I totally
a
agree.
union color.
But my God, it was just like out of the wash, and the colors
He
were
was playing
super
cards,
vibrant.
man. He was trying to get a woman.
No, man, it's like
Are you kidding me?
They
And the
went
guy
all the way-
fished, and the guy crawfished a bet, man. What did you do? Did you
man.
not watch the film?
Wow. Okay.
Hold on, John's reliving his own Tombstone.
Yeah, he
moment
is.
right now.
They just trekked like kind of
Good Lord.
outside of Tombstone for a while to this ranch, and none of them are dirty.
I feel like I'm gonna have to get John a new revolver.
But
I'm gonna
anyway,
make sure it's the
maybe
most
he-
polished, bright revolver ever.
maybe he washed him in Turkey Creek.
Oh, okay, but all right. So with my
Your
with,
score.
with my score, I think I'm gonna go a 9.1.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at your score. I'm laughing at just the variation of what I would.
We have to
consider.
make it at least around a 6 because that 4 really hurt.
Well, that means that Tombstone gets a screenwrite score of 7.9.
All right, that's decent.
Are you okay with that, Eddie?
Oh, I don't care. Listen, wherever
Obviously
the scores
not.
fall, wherever the scores fall is where they fall. I just think it's funny you guys game the system. I think that's funny.
No,
That's
it's
okay.
not.
Listen,
it's not
listen,
gaming the
bro.
system. I
It's
walked in
cool.
here with a 9.1.
Okay.
and I left here with a 9.1. So.
What's funny is I actually walked in here with probably a 4.5, and I gave it this much because John was willing to make an argument that had they added in another scene and kept the women's stuff, the love scenes and all that shit, Okay, granted, I'm willing to go that route. I am. I mean, maybe if they ever release a director's cut, because it's been 30 fucking years since this movie came out.
I'll talk about gaming the system. Well, what if I said they change everything that you don't like about the film?
No, then I'm willing to give it a better score. Yeah. So if the film was completely different.
Yes, it was a different film altogether.
Again, there's some good stuff. Listen, I
In
gave
fact,
it a 4 or 5. That's a good
it's
score.
about another Western guy.
Listen, that's a good score from me, okay? I just wish they would have called it The Love Affair of Wyatt Earp, because, that's what Jesus thinks. Jesus thinks it too. No, I just think they added in too much of one and not enough of another, or vice versa. They added too much of the love, and they should have added more. I don't know. I'm willing to go that argument, though.
I tell you what, we need to find out what movie Eddie's going to lamb blast next week. So,
no, it's actually me.
I know, but I'm saying he's going to lamb blast.
He wants to know what I'm going to kill next week.
Oh, it's definitely going to be killed for sure.
So,
because it's my movie.
Yeah. So we're in season 4 now. The first rotation.
God, film noir is back on the list.
It is back on the list.
I really don't want film noir because I like. I mean, there's some good film noirs, but it's.
So we need to see what
taste.
Kyle is going to spin for, or what movie he's going to pick for.
Okay, here we go.
Let's just call film noir now. Like, why even bother spinning? It's film noir. Go ahead,
As long
John.
as I can get comedy.
War.
Ooh.
Okay, war.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to be a war film. And
I was about to say, it's
film noir.
1946 war film. Well, we filmed this live, actually, guys.
It's Gone with the Wind.
Hey, we already did that.
It can't
We
be
already
Gone
did
with the Wind.
that.
That's the beautiful
beautiful
part about
part
getting
of
that
it.
out of there. Yeah, we can't do Gone with the fucking Wind again.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick a one of my favorite war movies, and it is a period piece. Back in the old 1700s, The Patriot.
Okay.
From 2000 with Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic.
And Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Think of his name. Cool. Well, if you want to follow along at home, just go to justwatched.com, look up The Patriot, and you can see all the places that you can rent or stream the movie. So for all of us here at Screen Riot, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.